Hey guys, my name is Marc from Jazz Guitar Lessons.net. Welcome to this video where I want to tackle lazy voicings where we just use two fingers, which is fantastic because what I want to do here is, we have 5 fingers on this hand, there's the thumb typically behind the fretboard, and we have 4. So how about we look at voicings that are using a minimal amount of fingers so you can grab them in time quickly, you can contribute to the band, you're an accompanist, even in your chord melody, with the purpose of grabbing things really fast. How about voicings that are really easy and really meaningful on the guitar? So let's get going. So the progression we'll use today, again, is the 2-5-1 in the key of C. So the D minor 7, chord going to the G7, and then to the C major. Of course, I want to cover chords that are going to connect to one another. They're not like in a vacuum. So what I want to do is just start with C. I'm going to tune down my bottom string to a C. Just to practice like this, here we go. Beautiful. The first voicing I'll show you is these 2 fingers. You grab the C note on the 8th fret, and then use your 3rd finger like this. Sorry, your 2nd finger, and then your index like this. So you get... So this is a C6-9. Basically, it's the note A and D, and then the G and C. Very square, very quartal. It's all made of fourths, and it's a really key voicing to have. Now, keep that in mind. Keep the exact same 4 notes and the same finger shape, and go to C, 6-9 here. Isn't that beautiful? So now you see we have this one and this one, but also that's one chord, voicing. But also we have another one where we just play the top, the notes in the middle. So you have this one, then you have this one, and same here. You have this one. So we're up to 4 chords that are C major, that are just using these 2 fingers, which is tremendous, right? And then we'll get to the next batch where what you can do is just don't put the 2nd finger like this in a partial bar. Do a bar with the index. Go. So now we have a top note that is a B note. So that's our 5th voicing. And now for you guys that are adventurous, here's an F sharp. You can do. That's what I did early in the video. I played like this, right? So that's a good C major 7, C 6-9 sharp 11, if you will, with that note here. So isn't that wonderful? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kinds of C major already. Let's add another one just for fun. So this guy I love too. Isn't that beautiful? So it's the same shape. And this one you can't do because what you're going to do is have a C sharp and there now it's a C chord, so it doesn't make sense. But here's another like major 7 sound. So already you have 7 chords that are C major that are easy to use. Now, why do these things work? Well, it's because the chord component, even though you have 4 notes to say a C major 7, C, E, G, B, you don't need to have all these note presents to represent the sound of the chord. You let the bass player do the work, if you will, and you let the context of the tune dictate where the chord's going. So if you're interested in studying this material and go even deeper, I work with a small bunch of guys in my program called the Jazz Guitar Accelerator. We cover this and much, much, much more. We start with the basic shapes and then we build on top of that with etudes, studies, assignments that are due to you. So it's a really cool program. If you're interested, check the link in the description below, book a call with me. I'll assess your playing, see if you're a good fit for that, for your goals, and then you can onboard the program. And if not, of course, I'm always happy to recommend other of my online resources for your continued studies. All right, guys, so don't forget to book a call with Marc if you're interested in that program. And now we're going to switch our open string to a D note instead. Like this, very rocker to cover the D minor 7. So early in the video, I started with this voicing. And I played some sort of a 2-5-1 lick. So if you guys know So What, right? So those are the chords I played early on. So it's simply your index playing a D and going up to the F note. So again, just the first 2 fingers. That's a D minor, call it D minor 11, if you will. Then from here, again, the thing I like to do with that, you can go here, which is just 2 frets up. And it still sounds like a D minor. Again, how does that magically work? Well, that's a story for another video. And then what we're going to have next is you can do the same thing with the top string. So if you bar, so it's the same shape, but your index is really barring up to the top string, and then same here. So essentially you're describing the entire Dorian mode of D while doing these two chords. You have all the 7 notes present. And the next thing up that you can do that's a classic is doing this. But also if you want you could do it like this. So this is not, at first 2 fingers it would be using fingers 1 and 3, and you do it like this. That's a D minor 9. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I need a 7th one just for luck. Lucky 7. What we want to do is a D minor 9 like this. So this one is a bit of a harder stretch for some of you guys. So you start with your index on the D note, and then you will partial bar C, E, and G. Okay? C, E, and A, sorry. C, E, and A. You get this D minor 7 chord. D minor 9, actually, that's a 9th of the chord. So still 2 fingers. So 2 fingers, 2 fingers, 2 fingers, so 1 finger, 2 finger, and then this hard one, 2 fingers. How awesome is that? Okay, I'm back to being tuned with the E, so the G chords here. You guys could play it like a G13 and stuff. Just a word on the dominant chord now. If we're doing a 2-5-1, the 7 possibilities of C major that I've given you, they fit well, just because it's part of the C major scale mostly. The Dorian thing, same thing. So the D minor, you can play these chords I showed you. The G7 might be really easier and really harder at the same time. And here's the reason. The dominant chords like this, the 5, Roman V, 5, are supporting a lot of tensions. So you can have a sharp 9, a flat 9, sharp 5, a flat 9, right? You get altered chords if you want. You could spice it up and then resolve it to a C major, which of course, that's going to be what you have to do with the stuff in the video. You just don't learn it, go, oh, it's nice. You have to apply it to 2 5s and really make use of it. So the G7, it will be easier in a way because we'll keep using 2 fingers, but it's going to be stuff that's extended. So here's where we start, where I like to start you guys. G7, shell, and then you go like this. That'd be my first pick. This is a G7 shell with a flat 13 and a flat 9, or people sometimes would say sharp 5, flat 9. That's a beautiful chord to have because you saw early in the video I went like this. Sharp 9, C, that's our C, our lazy C with 2 fingers. So, okay, so that's a really easy one to grab. And now, if you know you've been funking, if you've been doing this sort of music, you know you can do a shell here. So again, these 2, and you can do this. So that's a G9. There's no flat 9 or sharp 9. It's a G9 plain vanilla. So that's 2. So 1. And then I'm not going to count this guy because it uses another finger. And then 2. And then what you could do is just simply bar the index and keep that F note in there and go like this. Woo! So that's a flat 9 and a flat 5. Take these 2 notes, bring them down. All right? If you're observant, you're going to notice something really interesting. That guy is actually a D flat 9, right? That's a D flat 9. So it's a tritone sub from G. And this guy also is a tritone sub from G. So it's a D flat 7. You know, it's a good old D flat bar. So those are the main 2 chords. Now, of course, now that you have this, is there anything else you could do? It's like, yeah, you could fall into basically playing any of the 12 notes on G7. Meaning that you could go as far as playing a B flat like this, a B flat 7. And it gives rise to you ultimately playing around the diminished nature of the altered chord, which I'll let you to explore. And again, that's just 2 fingers. So whether you do this guy, or even this one, this or this or this or that, it's still just 2 fingers, and it gets you all of the possible alterations to G7. So now again, how do you put this all together? Well, one of the things you can do is ask for a good coach. That would be me. And check the link in the description below to get some feedback and guidance on your assignments, and a custom training plan, and a community of tremendous students that I have. Thank you guys if you're watching this. You can put all of this together and make sure that is done in a context. Now I'm giving you the content. You need to put this in the container. The container is the progression, is playing it in time. It's trying to do this on tune. On tunes, it's trying to, behind a sax player that's taking a solo, you're trying to add these chords, add meat around the bone, do a bunch of examples, find ways to do the minor 7 flat 5 chords, the minor 6 chords in the same fashion, the diminished or whatever chords. You can always find lazy 2-finger grips, or 2-finger grips like with these two that would do the same thing. All right, so on that note, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to stay tuned for all of the following videos on this channel that are coming. One of the things students said is like, Marc, I've been watching you for 5 years, and that little thing you said here, 30-second, it's a paradigm shift and it completely changed my playing. So it's free, just hit subscribe and you might get your lucky number and hit the jackpot in the next video where you understand something and it takes on a life of its own in your playing. All right, so on that note, I'd let you go, guys. Thank you. I'll see you soon on the YouTube channel, on the blog. And again, my name is Marc from jazzguitarlessons.net. Improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher and a blue shirt. Take care.